Hello, good evening everyone. It's so lovely to be here. Welcome to today's episode of the Fat Talks. I'm your host for today, Ganyana Shiva, and we have a very interesting topic for you today, mastering digital branding, mastering digital marketing, unleashing your brand on the online space. We have a very special guest with us, but before I introduce him, I would like to remind all of you that we are live right here on Smart 24 television. So please tune in, and those of you who cannot tune in, maybe you're busy, kindly log on to Twitter Spaces. We are also live on Twitter Space. I would like to welcome our Twitter community. So you can catch us on both platforms, and in case you miss out, please note that we'll have the recording on our YouTube channel, Hilary Leadership Institute, and also on the Smart 24 TV YouTube channel. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome our guest for today, Mr. Hilary Baguma. Allow me to give a brief background about our guest today. Hilary is an ardent learner. He's a gifted communicator who's widely passionate about marketing. Hilary has proudly delivered business and marketing objectives through innovation, digital transformation, strategy, brand repositioning, and marketing objectives. He has the ability to empathetically and pertinently communicate key information effectively. His career path has included roles in performance analytics, price management, sales innovation, corporate social responsibility, communication, stakeholder engagement, and marketing in Uganda Breweries, where he's currently the brand manager. Hilary is also a volunteer with the Sorority Cricket Academy and Feed a Million Mouths. He also volunteers with the Smart League. Hilary is deeply invested in creating a positive impact on brands, organizations, people, and the community, with his knowledge of proficiency and passion for marketing. Thank you so much, Hilary. Welcome.
Thank you, Shiba. That's quite an introduction. Thank you very much.
Yes, a very, very big CV. Yes. So just to get right into the topic of today's talk,
yeah.
What do you mean by digital marketing? Explain to us in layman's terms.
Yeah.
As we don't understand.
Cool. So, I promise to make it as simple, clear, plain English as possible. So to understand digital marketing, you need to first really understand what marketing is. So marketing ideally is creating, communicating, and delivering value profitably, because at the end of the day it has to be for a profit, right? So digital marketing is how do you promote that brand? How do you promote the value that you're creating? How do you do that on digital, on internet, online? So it's a channel to deliver those marketing objectives. So digital marketing is not only social media. It's a very big
Yes.
It's a very big misconception currently. People think that it's social media. It's just one of the elements in the digital marketing channel mix, right? So,
Okay.
So digital marketing includes paid, what you actually pay for, put money behind, sponsor boosts, things like that, and is what comes naturally as a result of people speaking about your brand. Just engaging what we call user-generated content. Yeah, people just talking about your brand. And then there's unowned and paid. And then owned is give an example. If I communicate about Uganda Waraji on the Uganda Waraji page, that's owned. Yeah. So basically, long and short of it, that's what
it is.
Yes.
Okay. So if I could get you correctly, would you say it is marketing on the online space, online platform, on any online platform?
Yes, simply put, that's what it is. It's basically marketing online.
Okay.
Yeah. So and if you look at the objectives, it's once you do digital marketing, you're looking to grow awareness for your brand. You're looking to grow likability for your brand. You're looking to grow engagement. So just basically to grow its equity, like the way your brand is liked, perceived, and yeah. And this can be done really through very quite a number of ways. So there's search, yeah, search. So give an example of you want to go shopping and you want to buy a black dress. What are the chances that you're going to type in Google where can I find a black dress to buy? Yeah. So and how do the different brands, organizations take advantage of such to promote their messaging? There's pay per click. Pay per click actually just means that it's what when consumers actually engage and click onto the communication, that's when they are billed. That's when the bill is done. So you only pay for what people have clicked. So social media is the commonest. I think is the most used at the moment. Most people actually think it is digital marketing, but it's not. And in that's where your Facebook is, your Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, which is actually growing extremely fast. So there are others as well: content marketing, email marketing, affiliate, web-based. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
I've gone on and on.
I didn't expect because I actually thought it was just social media because that's what most people think when it comes to digital marketing. Another question I want to ask you is, there's a lot of confusion because I think when we first posted the flyer for this interview, many people were asking, oh yeah, he's going to talk about branding, so there's that interlocking and confusion where people say digital marketing is the same as branding. What would you say are the differences between digital marketing and branding?
Okay, cool. So basically, branding it just goes to the definition of what a brand is. Yeah. So a brand literally exists to it's like what distinguishes you. Yeah. It's like the relation right from how your product looks, how it feels, the positioning has among the consumers. How do they feel about it? So ideally, the home of a brand is in the heart and mind of the consumer. Yeah. So things like positioning, like what's the brand identity, like internally, what does the brand do to create the perceptions that it does, like whether it's voluntarily or not. Then the brand image is what do people think. It's like more external facing, right? Like what do people think or feel about, like when they see your brand, like how do they perceive it? And then culture, then personality. So a brand ideally is that overarching thing that will position the way consumers or people think about and feel about your brand. So digital marketing is I could call it a subset. It's like one of the ways in which a brand's reality is delivered. Yeah. So give an example. If I am a let me say a jovial brand that supports comedy, like how am I going to leverage my social media to communicate so that consumers know me for that? Yeah. So digital just literally helps to deliver. It's one of the things that helps to deliver what a brand really is.
Oh, okay. So they go hand in hand.
Exactly.
With each. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So talking about branding, what are those things that attracted you to the branding industry to get interested in branding?
Fine, that's a very interesting question. So personally, I like to create positive impact. Yeah. And I figure the best way to do that is to use things that I'm good at, like my gifts and passions. I'm really, really passionate about marketing, and so it's just basically how I figured it's how I could create positive impact through that passion. Yeah. So just bringing together things like the ability to empathize and understand things from the consumer point of view, be able to communicate them well. So I found that I was really good at that, and I find marketing to be very, very powerful. Marketing is extremely powerful, if you ask me. And you can see how marketing impacts culture. You can see how it impacts our social economic construct. You can see one of my favorite marketing campaigns of all time is by De Beers called Diamonds Are Forever.
Oh, I've heard that.
You've heard about that, yeah.
Yes.
So So because of that campaign came out of there was a recession, sales had plummeted and things like that, and so they figured, now how do we best get people to buy diamonds, which are actually expensive during this tough economic time. And the answer to that question, the solution, is the reason people still use diamond rings for engagements up to this day. So things like how Christmas is now red. Everybody knows Christmas red because of a certain brand that promoted it.
Oh yes. So the diamond rings for engagement because diamonds are forever.
Yeah.
So marriage for okay.
So a marketing campaign actually created that impact in culture. You could see, for example, now Father's Day gifting. Everybody knows when it's time for Father's Day and it's time for gifting, you think about Johnny Walker, and it's just how marketing has an impact on culture. You think about comedy, you think about Uganda already right now, or think about Ugandanness. So it's like I call it the unofficial emblem of the country. So I feel like marketing is a really powerful discipline, and that's what attracted me to it.
Okay, that's very interesting. It does have it's funny how it has such a huge influence. Even subconsciously, some people may not realize it, that these adverts actually, they stay ingrained in you and they actually begin to form a sort of culture.
Yes.
So it is a powerful tool.
Absolutely.
Before we continue, I would just like to remind everyone that we are live on Smart 24 television. For those who cannot catch us on TV, please log into the Twitter space under the handle Fidelis Leaders. We are also live there, and in case you miss out, you can be sure to catch the recording on our YouTube channel at the Fidelis Leadership Institute, and also on the Smart 24 TV YouTube channel. So before we continue, Mr. Hilary, we have a game that we love to play here. It's called One Truth and Two Lies. So basically, you're going to tell us you're going to tell us 3 statements, one of which is true, and 2 have to be a lie. Then we'll have a poll running on our Twitter space, and the audience, our listeners, will have to guess which one is the truth. So I'll leave it to you.
Interesting. Cool. So it's two lies and one truth, or 2 truths and 1 lie.
1 truth, 2 lies.
Okay. Cool. So I will start with it's interesting. Cool. So in the introduction, you did mention that I am the brand manager of Mainstream Spirits with Uganda Breweries, right?
Yes.
So my first statement is I have been with Uganda Breweries for 5 years.
Okay.
That's the first one.
All right.
Cool. The second one,
Yes.
Is it's actually tight.
It's okay.
I'm trying to find interesting facts. Everything seems to be a bit mundane.
They can also be boring. It's okay.
Okay, cool. So I have personally met, and I've personally met JJ Okocha.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that's number 2. Then.
Okay.
Oh.
Okocha, about spelling it. Yes.
And then number 3. Number 3 is so out of 10 spirit brands in Uganda,
Yes.
6 are from Uganda Breweries Limited. So out of the top 10 the top 10 spirit brands with the highest equity.
Okay.
Yes. Equity is like brand love, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so 10 of the most loved spirits in Uganda, 6 of them are from Uganda Breweries. So those are 3 statements.
Okay. All right, so those are our 3 statements. Listeners on Twitter, please put in your poll. Our poll is going to be running. Which of these 3 statements is true about our guest today? 1, has he been working with the Uganda Breweries for 5 years? 2, has he personally met JJ Okocha? 3, out of the 10 spirit brands with the highest equity in Uganda, he claims that 6 are from Uganda Breweries. So as our audience and listeners on Twitter kindly guess which of those three statements is true about our guest, and we'll have the answers revealed to you at the end of this talk.
Or did I say 6? I meant 8.
You meant 8.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, correction. Out of, wow,
I just
8,
gave it away. Okay, but let's go. I can't wait to see the results of the poll.
That's a huge number. Out of the 10 spirit brands with the highest equity in Uganda, 8 are from Uganda breweries. Is that statement true? We'll have a poll running on Twitter, so feel free to vote as we continue with our interview. So, Hilary, you've talked about branding, you've talked about marketing. Could you give us some insight on what responsibilities a brand manager has in relation to marketing?
Yeah, cool. A brand manager, literally, to put it very simply, your job is to grow the brand sustainably, like for now and for the future. Yeah. So what does that mean if you're to break it down? What does sustainable success for the brand really mean? So it's one from a commercial point of view, because remember I said marketing, the objective is to create demand profitably, right? So your brand has to make money, your brand has to sell, your brand has to be profitable, right? So that commercial success is really important. So ensuring that, then also you have to grow the equity, the brand love for your brand, yeah. And this actually helps to get consumers to patronize you more and more. So how do you grow awareness? How do you grow distinctivity? How do you ensure that your brand is known for a particular thing? What your brand is supposed to be known for is what it is actually known for in the minds of the consumers. Yeah, to just also to make sure that your brand is liked, loved. So you need to grow, you need to grow its meaningfulness, to ensure that your brand actually means what it's supposed to mean in the heart of the consumer. Remember I said that the brand should reside in the heart and minds of the consumers, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so if you're to break that down further into specific roles, so that will be just ensuring you understand the market, understand the consumers, to make sure that you've planned effectively for your brand, to make sure that the strategic direction is clear, like, strategically what is your brand supposed to do or going to do, and also executing to just make sure that you're meeting those objectives effectively. And also that includes knowing which channels. So going back to digital, just to make sure that if you set out what the objectives that you've set out to achieve, you set up, for example, your digital channel mix to achieve that. Like, is your social media pointing towards the achievement of those objectives that you've called out? Is your email marketing calling out the same? Is your search engine optimization? So be it, all the details are pointing towards those objectives, achieving the objectives you've set out. So are you going to do it through partnerships and sponsorships? All the details. It's quite a lot. But ideally, it's just make sure that your brand is growing sustainably, is successful within the right resources, and for now and also for the future.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that is. That's a lot of responsibility. Yeah?
But it's really exciting.
Simplifying it, but it's a lot. There's a lot that comes into it, right?
Yeah.
Yes. I just want to remind our viewers that there is a poll running, and before we get back into our next segment of the interview, we would like to go for a short commercial break, and we'll be back, and Hilary will give us more insights on what exactly this digital marketing is about and the problems he's encountered in the industry. So we'll be back after this short commercial break.